In this video, I'm going to give you 6 players who have an ownership of under 5% who you could bring into your side for game week 14, could make a huge difference in your mini leagues and your overall ranks. Let's have a look at them. Whether it's your first time watching the channel or you just enjoy FPL content, hit that subscribe button. Plenty of other content coming out later in the week. In the meantime, let's have a look at those differentials. First up, we have Josh King, 5.6 million playing for Watford. He's under 5% owned, 4.7. He's got 5 goals, 3 assists. That's really decent. XGI looks brilliant at 0.75. That's really up there with anyone in the game. Shots per 90, decent, 2.27. That's fine. 5 goals in the last 5 games, started the last 4, so he seems to be nailed on. The big black marks against this guy. Short-term fixtures look horrible. Man City and Chelsea at home, that's really tough. We do know that Watford can score against pretty much anyone, it seems, at the moment. They've got 2 at Leicester at the weekend, albeit they're not very tight. Man United obviously put 4 past, 5 at Everton. So perhaps we shouldn't write them off too easily, even in those fixtures at home. However, I don't think it gets much tougher against 2 defences like that. The other doubt is Dennis. Dennis is just slightly cheaper. He's also very explosive. I don't think you'd want to double up on that Watford attack. So for me, even though Josh King's on pens, I'm not sure about him. I mean, if he keeps firing the way he has, and we know what he can do for Bournemouth in the past, he could look like a real differential and a real, ahead of the curve sort of signing with those games. After the Man City match at the weekend, you got Brentford, Burnley, Palace. Possibly want to put on your watch list and just keep an eye on. Next one up, Pablo Fornals. Looked at him even before the season started because he had such a good end to the season last year. I think he scored 3 in the last 3, something like that. He's got 4 goals this season, 2 assists, 1 at the weekend against Man City. His XGI looks okay, 0.4. Not getting a great deal of shots away, 1.67. 6 million, only 2.2% owned. So he's a differential amongst differential. He's absolutely nailed in that West Ham side. He started every single game. Medium term, he's got Brighton at home, then he got Chelsea, Arsenal later on, Northampton, Burnley in amongst them. So the longer term fixtures look decent. I quite like him. Thing is though, would you want to double up if you have an Antonio or a Ben Rama already? And there's a lot of people own Antonio still. Are there better options for 6 million? Even Bowen looks quite attractive, or Ben Rama in that field. One thing for sure, he is absolutely nailed. He looks good. He does seem to overachieve in terms of his XI. I do quite like him, and again, one to keep an eye on at the moment, but again, could make a huge difference if you brought him in, and he keeps up the form he's got at the moment. I thought I'd include James Maddison, 3.4%. No one's really got on him so far. You can understand why. He's been in and out of that Leicester side. He seems to be in niggles and match fitness. We know what a quality player he can be. At 6.6, there just is a lot of better options you'd think out there at the moment. But after the weekend, is he coming into some sort of form? He has the fixtures: Southampton away, Villa, Newcastle, Tottenham, Everton. Then it gets a bit trickier with the Man City game. 1 goal, 2 assists. I mean, that's pretty much all in one game. It's still, that XGI is not bad, 0.39. Getting shots away as he did last season. Last season, his shots per 90 minutes was over 3, which was really high. Put nailed, if he's on form, and we know how much Brendan Rodgers likes him, then yeah, he's in that side, a very creative Leicester side that will always score goals. He has the fixtures, he's on set pieces. And just a reminder, last year he got 13 goal involvements in 31 games. So that's pretty decent. Not the most expensive. He is an option, and if he continues to play in that Leicester side, you just see Leicester scoring goals whoever they play, then he could be a really good option. Trevor Chalobah, then he's got 2 goals. He plays for Chelsea, as we know, 4.8, so he's a real budget option to get into that Chelsea team. Only 4.7% owned. He hasn't got any assists. His goal threat is really, really minimal. I mean, you have to remember, he's scored in Champions League as well, so it's surprising given his XGI is so low that he's actually got 3 goals already this season. He barely gets 1 shot every 2 games, but he seems to be in the right place at the right time. It doesn't feel like he can possibly keep that going, though. Watford away, the next fixture, then you got West Ham, Leeds, Everton, Wolves, Villa. I think with Chelsea, they can keep a clean sheet against anyone, and I think even though he's got 3 goals, I think you just have to accept that he's only going to offer you the clean sheet. So 4.8 is a really cheap way of getting into that Chelsea side. 5 games of the last 7 he has started, so that's promising. Low XGI, talked about that. He doesn't offer really an attacking threat. Rotation-wise, you would have thought is going to still get rotated alongside Christensen, Thiago Silva. Azpilicueta's not getting game time. On the other side, he's cheap. I think if you're prepared to accept that he's not going to start every game, that you're going to get, 3 out of every 5 games, he is going to come in. For that price, and you've got a decent bench, he could be a good option. If he chips in with a goal, even better. But for that price, it's possibly a way into that Chelsea defence and still keep some cash over for other areas of your squad. Ilkay Gundogan, I'm struggling to get my head around this one. He's still only 3.4% owned. We looked at him in a previous video. 7.2. I think he's gone up from 3.1 to 3.4%. So one person's jumped onto him. 3 goals, 1 assist. His XGI is really good, as it was last season. Shots per 90 minutes, 2.44, that's fine. But look at those fixtures, they look really nice. Villa away, Watford, Wolves, Leeds, Newcastle, Leicester. You know what, it doesn't really matter what fixtures. We know they can put anyone to the sword, Manchester City. They can score against anyone. No KDB, no recognised striker. Gundogan possibly playing in a much forward position. We know how devastating he can be from FPL last season. I've put his nailed question mark. At the moment, I think he probably is nailed. He's got a great XGI. He's got the fixtures. Just a reminder, last season, 13 goals, 2 assists. Wow, if he replicates that, and most of those were in one single run when KDB was out, we're in a similar position now. He's just a fantastic asset. He was at one point pretty much a must-have in your fantasy side in the middle of last season. 7.2, he's not the cheapest, but if he replicates any sort of form that he showed last year, he is absolutely devastating at 3.4. I am seriously considering bringing him in. I think out of all those Man City midfielders, he would be the one I would go for. And with his fixtures, do I want to miss out on him? Gundogan, he's top of my list. Lastly, I'm going to include Sadio Mane. I was going to wrap this video up and then just put him in with a few other options. But then when I looked deeper into his stats, he just looked like an option worth exploring more. 7 goals. He's played every game this season. 1 assist. His XGI is brilliant at 0.78. He gets a lot of shots in and around the box. That's almost at Cristiano Ronaldo levels at 3.47. We know Liverpool fixture proof. They're against Everton, Wolves, Villa, Newcastle, Tottenham, Leeds. Good fixtures. He's only 5% owned. I suppose the big problem that comes with Mane is the fact that Salah is in that side and he's just a must-have. Similar prices, not a lot in it. He is expensive, and it means you can't really go for a Kane, a Ronaldo, even a Vardy. Do you bring, Trent? It blocks another Liverpool player. But I don't really know who else you'd go to. Maybe if you've got a Jota, you can't get to him. He just looks fantastic, though. His stats really stack up. I don't know. It's a difficult one to justify. But if could you double up on Mane or Salah? Well, could be a devastating double up. So he's one to give food for thought. Just to go through a few other options, there wasn't time. I can't include them all, but Sancho at only 2% is covered on a previous video. He possibly coming into form. He feels a bit knee-jerky, but if he gets the time under the new manager, could he flourish? Could he produce the sort of form he was showing at Borussia? Then we have Cornet. He might not have scored in the last game, but his figures over the last few games have been really good. Real differential at 2.8. And then there's Callum Wilson. We looked at St. Maximin. I think Wilson falls under the same bracket. A fit Wilson is, got to be under consideration for any side. Despite Newcastle's woes, they've got 2 crucial, winnable home games coming up. You'd think they'll be up for it. I'm tempted either with a Wilson or a St. Maximin at 3.2. What a differential he could be as well. I hope you find that useful, guys. Let me know if any of those players are going to make your side, whether you've been persuaded by anything I've shown you. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Team selection, we'll have a review. We'll have a watch list coming out before the Saturday. In the meantime, good luck. Speak to you soon.